And hello, everyone. Welcome yet another umbraCoffee episode without title, without promotion, without Callum at the moment. He's joining us soon. He's stuck on some of the meetings, so quick mic check before he will join us. I hope you can hear me well because I have some headset new to be tested now, and I presume there's some echo in the room, but should be hopefully fine. So let's wait for Callum. How is your week, guys? How are you doing? And let me know in the comments how you can hear me and if you can hear me at all. I hope really that Callum will join us soon and we'll be able to go through. Oh, can you hear me? Cool. That's great. How are you doing, guys? Thanks for joining us live. And of course, as usual, we'll discuss what happened in this week and what will happen next. Yeah, it would be great to hear from you guys how you are spending and how you have spent this week. And if I'm here alone before Callum will join us, I will ask for a like, subscribe. Why not? We are reaching towards really nice goals on the YouTube channel. Still far away from 1,000 subscribers, but you know how it works. Create multiple accounts and like us and subscribe. That's what we do. And yeah, we can carry on with the news. I'm here. Yeah. So yeah, let's start from first news. It's a product update. So it's majority of the things that we've discussed already, uh, because it's around the releases that we've touched point last week. So Umbraco Forms and Umbraco itself releases, but also what is to be mentioned today is Umbraco workflow upgrades. I don't know, guys. Please let me know if you have used Umbraco workflow in the recent Umbraco. I still try to push it among some of the projects and among some of the clients who don't know that Umbraco workflow is built in. It has a free tier as well inside of the package itself. So no more excuses to not check it out at least and use, because it might be very helpful for a lot of use cases. So I try to explore it more often recently, and same with Umbraco Forms and the great updates that we've been discussing last week. But one thing that I want to discuss more is this new home, a better home for Umbraco Forms to deploy release notes. So something what we will, at least for Umbraco purposes, we'll use more often. So both release notes for Umbraco Forms and Umbraco Workflow landed on Umbraco Docs. So docs.umbraco.com. So it has its new home, and I don't know if you would agree with me. It looks way better. It looks a lot cleaner. It's one place to have it all. And of course, we as a developers, we can relate to GitHub and all the release notes next to the packages. But of course, with some commercial projects like workflow forms, it might not be best to create separate repositories for just the release notes, just for something else. It's good to have it here, in my opinion, at least. So I kind of like it. And yeah, documentation of Umbraco portal looks like it's growing massively. I saw some discussions on Twitter between Warren, Sophie, and some people who were mentioning some new cool tools and automations. So probably more of it will land on the documentation itself. We've been discussing the Umbraco updates recently, so nothing to be mentioned there. Some cool new integrations that were also mentioned in the previous weeks. But please, if you haven't followed umbraCoffee or any other news, just go and check out what is new there. And for all of the people who might have missed it as well last week, there was an updated security advisory for Umbraco 8.2 Plus. And as updated, there was a follow-up patch release for the security patch itself. So probably a little bit more delay when we'll learn more about the issue and everything else. But generally, check it out, patch, decide if the patch affects your clients and your applications. But generally, of course, follow the advisories and everything on Umbraco shares. And last but not least, from the product update, upcoming releases. So new releases for Umbraco Deploy, going to be released on April 11th. And Umbraco CMS 11.3 with the information that we all can see here, with the final release date postponed. The release candidate is, of course, available for us. And there is a lot of need for the feedback from a Umbraco perspective, but the final release date has been postponed 1 week due to the public holidays. So nothing major. It's not like everything is broken and it won't be released at all. It's just a human factor, I believe, here that is responsible for moving it to the next week. And of course, we after Easter break and everything else around that, we can expect the final release of 11.3. One more thing that is mentioned to be released soon is an integration of the platform called Aprimo. I must admit that I haven't heard about this digital asset management platform, but as it is a DAM, we can, all of the people who work with any digital asset management platform, we can expect what we can expect from the platform like this. So it's coming on April 18th as well, and we can see the preview of the content API, and yeah, we can browse and use the medias and assets from the Aprimo DAM. We will be able to do that after releasing it, of course, and some new patch releases and updates to roadmap. So as people were following some of the back office discussions, updates, the new back office is coming to be released by the end of June. And I like this targeting here of end of June for the first beta release. It's possible to test it already. So the repository, I don't know, it's not linked here, but we can link it in the episode description. You can find it on GitHub as well. There's a lot of work happening around it recently, a lot of fixes, a lot of upgrades, and the repository itself is really nice font. So yeah, Umbraco is getting there. And we are all getting there to the brand new back office implementation, which will be released in the beta by end of June. New in later Trustpilot integration, all of the e-commerce fans and everyone who was exposed to any Trustpilot integrations would probably love it as well. So it's coming soon, and form editing features from Umbraco Forms are moved to done because it's done. So that's a quick walk through the product update, and of course you can all follow that and check it out separately. And we can move to another news from Umbraco perspective, and another community team. In this case, it's a sustainability team that is being formed by Lasse and Umbraco in the response to grown interest and responsibility coming out of the addressing of the sustainability issues and challenges, of course, seen from the perspective of the digital team, digital experiences, however we'll name it. In general, we've mentioned it probably with Callum multiple times that we've been exposed to more content around optimizations down on the sustainability levels, all of the things regarding the carbon consumption, infrastructure optimizations and things like that. So the team here will be working towards making Umbraco more sustainable. So, and Umbraco, and of course, followed with the whole infrastructure and everything what Umbraco is offering in the digital landscape. So expectations are as same as with the other teams, meeting a couple of times per year and few full days per year on the annual community meetup in the HQ. And if you are interested, if sustainability and all the things digital related to the sustainability itself are something what makes you interested, applications are closing on April 19th. So yeah, apply and help the Umbraco and help the community, help the sustainability around it by your input to the team out there. The link, of course, to this form and this information will be also shared in the video description. Cool, releases. That's something next on my agenda, and we are starting big. I don't know if there are any Articulate users and fans here. Please let me know in the YouTube comments if you are using or if you've been using Articulate in the past. For all of those who don't know what it is, it's a blogging engine built for Umbraco. I don't know, the first version was probably for Umbraco 4, if not older, but it got its update, and this is Articulate 5, which is right now in beta. So everyone who is using Umbraco 10.1 plus can now also install Articulate in the beta version and create or convert the Umbraco website into a blog easily with this package being installed there. It has all of the basic and maybe not only basic, because it has all what the proper blog should have, with the tags, categories, custom routings, filtering, and everything what else is needed for the standard blog. So please check it out, and if you want to have a blog on top of the Umbraco, that's definitely one of the good ways to accomplish it relatively quick and easy. So yeah, kudos to Shannon for releasing it. And now, as it's better, probably a lot of testing is needed to make it stable. So please help Shannon if you want to use blogging engine. And if you want to test more of your solutions and find out more interesting information, you definitely need to use the God mode from Dan. And it has its small update this week. Despite of some other things, there's one new thing added which allows us to view all configuration settings from appsettings.json and more. Thanks to Kultiv and Sebastian here for contribution and also making it exposed more for Dan and for the use cases needs. So here the update shows how we can preview some of the more configurations from the settings here. And I love this package. I mentioned it multiple times. It helped me a lot figuring out what is going on between the load balance environments on all the production environments that are blocked with the access to the Azure portal or cloud management portal. So yeah, if there needs to be a controller preview, at least what is there, that's the way to go. You can definitely check it out if you haven't used this yet. So yeah, thanks Dan for releasing this update, and we can all check it out. Other than that, Heather released a tool called Dragonfly Site Tester. So it's a set of tools to test pages in Umbraco by looping through all of the content nodes, attempting to view the page, and it compiles the results for the review. So it sounds like a really cool package for testing the site, and it's being released this week with the 1.0 version 4, and I don't know if that namespace shows it correctly, but yes, that's targeted to be supported by Umbraco version 8 and probably also version 9, but I would definitely check it out, and I need to check it with Heather if that's correct, because it might be correct or not correct. But it's open source package. We can all check it out. Maybe if the link will be correct, but yeah, it should be open source, and I will let Heather know that the link is broken, so we can probably have it fixed soon. Not so many more releases, to be fair, this week, but of course, if I missed any, let us know if we should mention something here. But then we can jump to the event section, because there is a lot of meetups happening and also upcoming. There are some details that I can share and will be listed in the episode description. But first of all, on April 5th, there's a Melbourne online event when Mario Lopez will be talking more about editor's experience with a topic of the talk called A Brighter Editor Experience. So it's an online event, so everyone can join, not only people in Melbourne. So definitely worth checking it up if you are interested in editor's experience and improvements around that. The day after, there's a new meetup announced in Umbraco Leads meetup group, where cache tag helpers will be discussed by Johnny. So yeah, it's a very interesting topic, also for optimizations of the performance around the MVC logic. So I'm sure it will be interesting discussion out there. And yeah, it's happening on 6th of April in the Leeds Umbraco meetup group. And that's for the closest weeks. Of course, there are some more events aligned next. And one of the things that I wanted to mention is a small tease that Umbraco shared this week on Twitter. And probably if Callum will be here, we could talk more about this because he should know more about it. So I'm sure that if he will join us soon, and I really hope that he will, we can jump back to this topic because Umbraco announced some of the events that are going to take place in the United States. So it's, I don't know if this one is the first one. Yes, that's the first one. So it's a spring breakfast meetup in New York City. It's on April 17th, 10 attendees joining there. So it's a loose opportunity to catch up with Umbracians out there. But of course, it's followed with some further event in Chicago 2 days later. So it seems like there is a small roadshow around the Umbraco in the United States, which is really cool opportunity for all of you guys there who will be there or who are living there. And we have Callum with us. Hey, Callum.
Hi.
We are discussing United States meetups now. So
cool.
I believe you have more knowledge about it. So
a little bit. I mean, I've of course I was in the US back in October or September. Had a reasonable exposure to the community over there. It's good to see a centralized effort, should we say, around getting some activity going because, well, I think particularly in the US as a whole, they're not really doing in-person meetups still since COVID. That sort of fell off the radar a bit. So yeah, it's good to see Alan and co trying to get some interest.
Yep. And how are you doing, by the way, Callum?
Well, the fact that I'm 54, no, I'm not. I'm 24 minutes late. Should tell you exactly how my week is going.
That's life, and that's also a proof that we are kind of humans, and we all have issues like this. But I've skimmed through the first points of the agenda: product update, sustainability team, and a couple of the releases that were mentioned on the list.
Yeah.
And now meetups, of course, and US. And I think the next on our list is a final reminder. Because I don't know if the applications are still open.
Its deadline is 11 p.m. UK time, 12 a.m. EU
12 p.m.
Today. So you've got 12 hours, less than 12 hours.
Okay, yeah. So still time for the package team applications. And I mentioned it regarding the sustainability team. There's a lot of teams right now, and there is a lot.
Yeah. There is a lot, but they're slightly different. Like the sustainability one's more of the kind of advisory board type thing, which is like you're on the headless one, aren't you?
Yes.
I'm part of the CMS one, and I quite like those because they are. I'm not going to say low input or low effort because you still have a call, but I find those short, sharp bursts of giving feedback really, really productive.
Yes.
I'm not saying I wouldn't enjoy doing more continual work as well, but like they're for different people, perhaps.
Yeah, I definitely I wouldn't join the team that requires more hands-on involvement because of the time restrictions as well. But exactly as you said, the kind of advisory board, the kind of discussion-driven ability to exchange ideas, and then have people and have HQ members who are directly addressing them and taking them into consideration. That's perfect for some of the people. That's why also sustainability team might be really nice for the people who have more. Or have less technical input maybe as well, but also have a vision to impact to directly show the impact on the digital landscape connected with sustainability. So yeah, that's really cool. And same with the packages. Of course, we have a lot of great package creators, a lot of great packages, and people who were always vocal about their challenges. So it's just probably a shortcut or maybe more formal approach to these discussions. And yeah, we will see who will be the package team member. But that sounds like a really nice more structured way of
dealing with Ronald on a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about like what the team has achieved. If you think about it over the 3 or 4 years that they've existed, and everything from improvements to our Umbraco and the packages section there, to the unpack CLI, to improved documentation, starter kit, templates and processes for building packages, and then the marketplace, which I know has come via the DXP team, but a closer integration between those two. That's quite an exciting team to have been on. A bit like the Docs team, who was able to make such a large impact over a longer period of time. I think this is one of the more exciting teams for sure.
Yeah, I also mentioned today about the new home for forms and deploy release notes, and this documentation hub becomes a real knowledge hub for all of this information. So that's really, really cool. So yeah, definitely a final reminder, 12 more hours or 11 hours or something like that to apply to the package team and be a new addition to the community teams out there. Cool. What's next? We have a small celebration to be mentioned today. It's it has to be. It was supposed to yesterday, March 13th. It was third birthday of Vendor.
That's such a crazy feeling, because I remember being at Spark in 2020 where
Yes.
that showed off Vendor and was like, oh, here's what's coming, and it looked really good. And it was the sort of the launch-ish. And then obviously COVID happened, which massively accelerated e-commerce and probably helped Vendor out massively. But yeah, it feels like it's been a lot longer than 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. I remembered, the T-commerce platform, and then discussions on being inherited by the Matt and the team, and Outfield Digital, then the vendor, the new releases, and everything else. It feels like a longer time period for sure, but it's just 3 years. But also what has been accomplished in these 3 years, I think. The platform, the tool. We've been also discussing a lot about the vendor and integrations, extensions, and customizations on top of that. So yeah, happy birthday, and yeah, more to come probably from the vendor integrations out there. So yeah, that's really cool. It's great to have tweets like this and reminders about the exact dates. So that's really, really cool. And yeah, the next thing is from the other section in our list. But I found two really interesting articles this week about again, headless, switching from traditional to headless, composable architecture, and all the cool topics and buzzwords and things that we've been discussing for the last year or more. And Nikhil here from the Giriraj team. I can't pronounce it right probably, but we know Nikhil, and he shared a great article about the headless architecture, why and what it is, and general benefits also of taking it out from the traditional architecture into more headless driven architecture. So that's definitely a good article. And the next one, which I remembered when I saw the Nikhil's article, was from the Optimizely team. It was flying somewhere around on LinkedIn this week. And I found it really interesting because Optimizely shared a lot of resources. And again, we know that this is kind of maybe indirect competition of Umbraco as a CMS, but the same challenges, the same explanations, and there is a lot of knowledge on the Optimizely blog, and also glossary, how they name it, the section of the knowledge. So if anyone basically wants to know more about headless, decoupled, traditional, these two articles can share a lot of context and a lot of knowledge, and I found it really cool to read through them today.
There's some great talks coming up at Code Garden on similar topics.
Yes.
I know Emmanuel's going to do a talk on match architecture as well, which is definitely a hot topic at the moment.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's it. Even though it's been discussed for a while, right? It's still a hot topic. So it's and a lot of people. I don't know. I remember one of the seminars that I was doing about the upgrading Umbraco, and when I asked people who is doing headless with Umbraco, it was still one person from 20 or 20 plus. So definitely worth discussing and also understanding why and when and if it's something what needs to be considered at all, right?
Yeah,
so
it's interesting when you say only one person's doing headless, but I expect most Umbraco sites have some kind of API controller in them that are serving content. So in some way, a lot, maybe not most, but people may be doing headless-esque things without really realizing it.
Exactly. Yeah. But then there's the whole discussion about true headless, indirect. I don't want to go this way. Definitely, let's join on Code Garden and explore more about it, and then discuss the ways. So that's the headless. Two more articles from this week. One from Matt, and yeah, Matt, congrats on the day off. So
this was excellent.
Yes, that was really cool.
Really excellent.
Yeah, but it's an automation of the patches, maybe not only for Umbraco, right? But generally, I don't know everyone who, I'm not using GitHub that often these days, but I remember all of those cool and great notifications from the PandaBot, like, oh, you have this dependency outdated, you need to update this, you need to update that. And Matt shared here the whole approach to addressing this update and automating it on GitHub. So that's really cool. And also the Azure DevOps steps in the meantime. So yeah, really cool stuff. And there, if I remember correctly, there were some discussions also about it on Twitter. So yeah, that's a definitely really nice one to approach, and more automations to come. So yeah, that's really, really cool. And a last but not least article related to sustainability that I found today on LinkedIn, also being shared by some of the HQ members, and from Philip, 20 ways to design greener digital services. So of course, for all of the people who might not be that aware of why and if any digital applications or infrastructures can affect sustainability and green space in general, Philip shared 20 ways gathered based on his kind of participation in the events, and also everything what Umbraco is doing and exploring here in this article. So that's a good summary and yeah, a lot of information to be shared and explored by everyone interested. And that's all. That's all from the list today.
That's all.
I'm sure we missed a lot.
I don't know what you spoke about before I arrived, but I'm sure it was all excellent. I also don't really know what's happened this week, so I'll watch this episode back. Thanks, Marcin. Thanks.
I need to rewatch it as well, because I was when I was gathering this news today. Today it was also kind of like a blank space. Maybe not so many things were exposed also, but it's typical for this period of the year. And I think we are all preparing. There is a lot of events, meetups. So probably please people share what you learn, what you share, what you explore, because we'll be mentioning on the upcoming episodes. And yeah, the June is where the magic happens, and probably there is a lot of preparations for that, and we'll be trying to figure it out. There was a community hours this week, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. I
missed it as well.
I don't know, but there was supposed to be CG rumors spread or started.
Exactly. I was going to say that we will be trying to explore some of the CG rumors and spoil some of them.
Spoil? We don't spoil things.
So yeah, we'll see if there will be some CG rumors, some things to be mentioned. But of course, if you will know anything, or if you want to share anything on the upcoming umbraCoffee episodes, let us know. We are more than happy to have you joining us and exploring it all together. So yeah, that's all. It was subscribe, like, share, and join us next week, and take some proper rest, everyone, as well. And yeah, we'll see each other on the next week as usual. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Short episode cut.
Just seemed Matt saying when Paul Seal dressed with Santa Claus. That's a good idea. I like that.
We need to gather a list of things like that, and then have a check boxes next to the validated ones. I don't want to spoil anything, but I have a really nice thing that might be considered as a rumor. That will be really cool if it will be materialized on Code Garden. So I will let you know, Callum, off the record. But yeah, that's it. I will leave it as a mystery for now. Cheers, everyone. Have a good rest of the day and the weekend. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.